Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. Let me just see we're live. We're live and ready to go. Let me just copy link, share this for our gang in the server. Hopefully everyone's having a fantastic weekend so far. Let me bring up Visual Studios, and I think I wanted to check out this specifically, so we'll leave that there. Let me just bring up the chat-a-rooney on my other computer. Takes a minute. The laptop's a bit slow. So yeah, hopefully everyone's having a great weekend, and yeah, I'm doing good, if you're wondering. I thought we would do a bit of an early long stream today on Sunday, so we might go for a bit longer than usual. Hopefully my my voice box survives. My last time I did a live stream, my throat got really sore. I don't know why. I must have been yapping extra hard, but there we are. Anyway, so what are we going to be doing today? Generally, just a general kind of. I don't really know. I think I'm just going to do like a refactor and like delete some code that I've been looking at. I'm thinking I want to remove that. We're going to be moving stuff around. We're not going to be doing anything hardcore today. Yo, hello, Kalia. First one to chat. So yeah, we're just going to be doing all sorts of cleanup. I think we're going to be implementing audio finally, 100%. Yeah. So that's it. That's what we're going to be doing today. Yeah, how's it going? Not bad. Yeah, just thought I would do a early Sunday live stream. Someone has said in the Discord, chord X escape point chord vibe coding. Yes, we're going to be not doing that. I would rather delete my engine and use a commercial game engine instead of vibe code. So yes, that's funny though. So yeah, I got just so people are aware what I've been doing. I just talk about what I've been doing. I have been studying threading. No, that's... Why is the threading busted on my end? Okay, so that's a bit disappointing. So these are my notes in Obsidian. Where is the threading? Okay. Okay, for some reason it hasn't indexed anything, which is kind of dumb. So I'll have to grab that from Linux. I can't do that on Windows. But anyway, you'll at least see it in the graph. So I've been doing this all yesterday. I think I was reading my book for about on threading for about 6 hours, and I was doing on top of that about 50 minutes of revision, according to my timer anyway. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I basically didn't do any coding. So yeah, we're pretty much exactly where we left off. It's one of my weakest areas. It's now starting to get better, so I'm not as feeling bad about it. So yeah, threading has been studied, and let's turn this down a bit. This is a bit loud for me. Yeah, let's get it. Let's crack on. So the first thing I kind of want to look at is my command buffer functions, right? So there's still a lot of junk in here, to be honest. Mainly the barrier function is particularly bad. The reason being is I've started to move away from having like a monolith simple duck. Yo! Just because Simple Duck turned up, we've got to show him. We've got to show him. Or her, I don't know. Or it crashes immediately. As is coding. Okay, so that failed to launch. We can comment that out. Bear with me, Simple Duck. You might appreciate this more than other people. Yo, look at this. We got a duck in the game. So there we go. We've got the Simple Duck. The actual Simple Duck in game. Anyway, so the reason that crashed is because it returned 0 because it failed to launch, and that is because we're using SDL instead to launch. So we're going to be doing some of that today. Yeah, anyway, let's go back to our barrier code. So I don't like this function anymore. I used to like it because it did a lot of barrier kind of automation. Yeah, there we go. I'm glad you like that, dude. But because considering we've been moving to synchronization 2, and we have there's been issues that I've had with my memory barrier layout. I think this function is pretty much dead, in the sense that I don't think I'll ever use it again. So I think what we're going to do is just wipe out this. There's a lot of code in here, don't get me wrong, but this is what we're going to be doing today. We're just going to looking for code that I've stopped using. So I'm just going to make sure this function is not used anywhere. And if it is, I'm going to try and remove it. Yeah, because look, this is looking for like sub passes and stuff, right? So as you can see, the to-do comment, we're not using that. We're using dynamic rendering now. So there's a lot more that we need to do. Oops, not that. This and this, and so we have command. Yep, that's fine. These two are fine. These two are fine. These two are fine. Yeah, these are all chill. So this is just telling me that we've been looking for stuff. Yeah, so I've just asked, where's barrier used? Okay, so this isn't used anyway. So yes, let's just delete this code. So we're just going to be deleting code to start with, I think, today. And hopefully reducing the complexity of the game engine just by reducing the amounts of lines of code today. I also want to look into how I can simplify how I can simplify my entity system for a what am I trying to say? An entity system for my player. My player is kind of clumsily added to the entity system at the moment, so we're going to investigate that. But let's just keep digging into what we can get rid of. So we have push marker, which is used for, what is it even used for? GPU. Okay, so this is actually testing. This writes a timestamp, which is my not so good profiling tool. So what else do we need to do? And just for anyone who's wondering, that duck will be unfortunately replaced with something that's a little more appropriate for a space game. But I still want that kind of silliness in the game, so we're gonna be working with that. Fill barrier. I'm not entirely sure what this is doing. So it just takes the buffer and what does fill barrier do? Like, literally don't know what this does. So we're just going to look at this. Fills a region of buffer with a fixed value. Ah, okay. Right, okay. Did not know you could do it. So it's like a mem set. Cool. Let's see if it's used. Or will it be used? I don't know. Space. Hi, Matt. How you doing, dude? Yes. Space, the final frontier of ducks. We are going to... What else are we going to do today? So we deleted that. What else do I want to delete? I'm going to go through my... Oh, that was one thing I spotted when I was looking through my code. String, like, there's a string buffer just being allocated for no reason that's not even used, this thing. Literally don't use it. Which means we can get rid of it. The less we allocate, the better. So the only place this is used is in the initialization code, and then it shuts down immediately with nothing used. And it's quite a big string, so if we don't need to use a string buffer, we don't need to use a string buffer. So that's going to save some memory in our memory pool. Next, what else can we get rid of? Dynamic rendering data. What is this? Oh, I think I set this up myself. That's fine. Just woke up. How about you? Ah, brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, I'm chilling. I've been up for a bit. I've been studying threading just before the live stream. But I thought, you know what? Let's just have a bit of a longer live stream where we just kind of vibe the whole time. So yeah, I'm ready to vibe, ready to chill. Oh yeah, Streets of Rage. Love that franchise. I've played 1, 2, and 4 quite a lot. I've never played 3. But yeah, the music is so incredible. It just adds so much to the game. So you gotta have it while we're coding. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for how can I improve. What I might want to try as well is look at like the modern way of doing swap chain recreation. This is something that's kind of tripped me up on Linux, and I think it's because my swap chain recreation. I know it's hopefully it's not giving anyone flashbacks to the Linux stream. Right, didn't make much progress, but what I'm interested in is finding the like what are people what are the zoomers, what are the zoomers, what are the new graphics programmers in Vulkan doing to actually resize the swap chain? It's just something I thought about. I was like, wait a minute, my swap chain recreation is really old. So yeah, this is the actual swap chain recreation. I'm kind of curious, like, can we throw this into our version and just kind of like roll with it? That'd be kind of cool. So it doesn't look much different, to be honest. It gets the window size from SDL get window size. Interesting. I'm not sure if these is SDL 2 or 3. Let's have a look. That's important. Okay, SDL 3. Oh, 3 is harder. Oh, interesting. Last week finished 1 and 2. Yo, dude, sick. You just finished them. What did you think of them? Yeah, I assume you like them all. Yeah, I played them on the Mega Drive not when they came out, but my dad gave me a copy of them. They were out before I was born, but still had access to them when I was a bit older. Okay, so recreate swap chain. Yeah, so a lot of my music in the background is a lot of Mega Drive music. or Genesis if you're American. Like, this is like one of the best tracks. Sorry to be so side tangent today, but this is the stream. This is what I'm feeling today. Like this Metal Slug, not Metal Slug, what is it? Metal Squad, is literally one of the best Mega Drive musics I've ever heard. So, yeah, let's see. So what does it do with the depth image? This is the thing that kind of trips me up because I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with the depth, because the depth image isn't tied to the swap chain. Resize. I wonder if I do that. Hang on. Resize. Hang on. Resize. Yeah, resize swap chain. Let's have a look. Great buff is fine. I'm also looking at my other stuff. Oh, this is something I need to fix. Right, okay, so this is valid now. I wasn't 100% sure if this was good. Maybe I can merge these functions together. Yo, same here, dude. Yeah, I sometimes pick them up every now and again. Okay, so let's look. So let's see if we can. So is this for a bindless texture? Bindless buffer? I can't remember. Yeah, so this needs to be deleted. So there's a lot of that like hanging around that I need to get rid of. This if statement is for initial data only. And layer count. I have a feeling that when we allocate this texture temp, we can use this for literally every single texture we have. Yeah. The only difference here, I think, is that we're manually adding our barriers in ourselves. To avoid any silly mistakes, basically, by... Yeah, so undefined to transfer. So let's do an experiment, right? So create texture is used. Can I just use create texture? Ah, this is why. Hang on. Let me think. Why is it? Oh, it's cons reference. Okay. What's images used for? Hang on. Ah, right. Okay. So this is quite tricky then, because I would like to merge these functions to reduce the lines of code, but let's just see if it might not even be possible. Hello, Coding Banana. How you doing, dude? Good to see you here. Hopefully you're having a good weekend. We're just trying to figure out if I can merge some code together. It's going to be a bit of a stream where we just kind of figure out what we want to do on the fly. Yeah, because this temp variable shows me that I need to refactor this. So, yeah. Let's see. So we need to be able to tell Vulkan how to... Yeah, the way I fix this was I allocate a... For the 6 images that get passed in, I kind of allocate 6 times for the staging buffer. And... which is great. This is like... according to other people, this is how they do it too. Yeah, cool. I'm glad you're doing great. But this also requires a vector, and if I look at my create texture, my regular create texture, that doesn't require it. And yeah, it just requires this, and its initial data is just copied in one go. And if I do this initial data copy like this, I basically only copy the pointer to the memory. I don't actually copy the memory itself. And that leads to things not actually being uploaded to textures. So, but the code is like 99% the same. And I'm trying to figure out how... what do I want to do here? I mean, I could put it in this struct. Like... set like initial data plus the... like a reference to... I don't know if that's clumsy. Let me think. Because everything's public anyway. And then... this struct would get a lot bigger though. That's the other thing I've got to consider. Yeah, little space game. Yeah, I can show you. Once it compiles, you'll be able to see while I think through this a bit longer. It's not going to be a major game. It's going to be quite small. But yeah, we have player movement. We have collision. That's like recently addition. The duck will be replaced with a spaceship, and we'll have like, you know, fly around the asteroids are kind of thing. So there's a lot of work needs to be done. There's like UI needs to be added and stuff like that, and the lighting needs to be fixed. There's so much stuff I need to do. But yeah, a little space game. Do I want to do this just to reduce lines of code? You know what? I have a feeling that I don't want to do this, but I don't know what to call this. The reason I don't want to do this is I don't want to arbitrarily try not to not repeat myself. Or is this just bad? Screw it. I've changed my mind. Yes, again. Let's see if it works and not worry about it. So this is going to be a huge struct. Images. It's not going to be a reference. It's not going to be const either. we're just going to have an array that just sits there. And unfortunately, this means we're going to have to do some kind of setup, because this needs to be allocated to be used. So let me think. Or I could just do it myself. I don't really have to. Looks nice, thank you. Yes, unfortunately, at some point we're going to have to remove that duck as the main character of the game. We can't have that lying around. It would just throw off people who don't take part in the live streams. You know, if they go online and say, "Oh, okay, I'm going to try this game. I don't know who Escape Point is," and then they're like, "Why is there a duck?" I mean, I kind of find it funny, but I don't want to alienate people unnecessarily. So that's unfortunately the direction I'm going to take this. Right. So do we need to pass in? Okay, so that's the images. So this initial data is actually not good. Let me think. Can I do a set array or something? Like set images and like do a copy on my, like a deep copy on my array. Set images or something. And this takes an array of images. This might be good. So we need a const reference, I think. uint 8t pointer ref and I want to see new in images, I guess, so we don't end up having any issues. So if we could do like a whole copy, this might be like, instead of set data, we can just actually set the array that we have in this struct. Array is not a template. It is though. I might need to have array included, I think. Oops, not that. Foundation. Oops. Array.hpp. Okay, so that should now go green and at least say something else. Yes. Okay, cool. Fair. Maybe we add a giant duck monster that throws rocks. Yo, something like that. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like something a bit daft. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Oh, it needs to be included here. Okay, so we don't typically have this, which is fair enough. So I'll throw this in the here. So now that should get rid of those errors. And okay, can you find this? Yes. I'm going to ignore that just for a minute. And go into here. And what we're going to try and do is take images. Now we're going to do deep copy here. So copy array in images. Now I'm just going to check my deep copy and just make sure that it's going to actually do it properly. So yeah, it takes the source data, the actual, and their data, times by the size. So that's actually what we need to do. Size equals size. I think Now let me think. Is that actually gonna? So memory copy is literally just mem copy. I don't know why I did this. It's kind of completely redundant if you're just gonna like call it something slightly different. Early bird stream indeed. Yes. Yeah. Join. Bit of a vibe-based stream today. We're just gonna be chilling the whole time. Doing nothing that serious. If stuff doesn't work, I'm just gonna move on to something else. Rather than stick at it for like the whole time. Because there's so many things I could do anyway, so. But yeah, we're aiming for a refactor and simplifying the code base. Let me think. What else did he do even? Yeah, vibe coding stream. I'm jealous, to be honest. I learnt the syntax, but have got no idea how to code what I want to actually code. And here you are making a game using Vulkan. Lol. Anyone can learn this, honestly. I'm not very smart. Well, I don't think I am, at least. And yeah. Maybe people in the stream will agree and be like, "Yep, he's not very smart," but you know what? That hopefully is like a motivation. If you do actually want to learn this yourself, yeah, I think you can do it 100%. You just got to give yourself time and keep working on it. Okay, so here's the IGR. Set images. Let's see if this even remotely works. So I'm not going to use set data anymore. Get rid of this. It's kind of scruffy if I leave it there. So now I hope that the deep copy works. And we have images now, meaning that I can do a check in my code. Now, so this might just completely blow up, right? So you're gonna have to bear with me here. So all creation images size is greater than 1. So if it has something in it, then we want to do this, layer count. And if I need like an is empty kind of thing, but that's effectively the same check. So if this is the whole point of doing this, so I can have like an if statement in here that cleans up, so I can reduce the amount of lines of code by reducing a function that we don't need. And then we want initial data, which works when you don't have an array. Doesn't work any other way. Set this to 0. And image size is completely chill. In fact, we do total buffer size for that, to be honest. They're going to be the same anyway, so just a bit more descriptive. Yeah, really the only way to write Vulkan code. There you go. Knowing the syntax is learning the words of the... Yeah, pretty much. That's it. I think, yeah. I think you could definitely take it on. If you wanted to. I mean, not everyone wants to. It's not for everyone, I have to admit. So if size is... Yeah, greater or equal to 1? Yeah, because we want to... Size is... Yeah. Because size of 0... Hang on. Is size... Hang on. I've got to be careful here. Because capacity and size aren't the same thing. What I'm interested in is when I push back, what is the actual data number that gets incremented? Yeah, so when we grow... So when I initialize, hang on, this is going to be easier. If I just check the initialization. Okay, so then it grow, initial capacity. Because the initial size is different from the capacity. So capacity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, size and capacity basically change. Size is the size of the whole thing. The capacity is like how much we end up using, I think. Which is fine. I think we could use capacity here. Again, I need to have like a proper is empty, but I'm kind of vibing my way through this today. I need a new word for vibe because it might come off like I'm actually vibe coding, which I'm not doing. Vibe coders have ruined the word vibe. True, but to write code, I need to know what to write. I can create variables and functions all day long, but I don't know how to make them work. Interesting. Yeah, it's you probably need more guidance. Feels sentiment in. Yeah, that's it. I'll go with one of those words, I think. Yeah, break it down into small bits. Right, just completely right there, and then just decide on what you want to make. Sometimes making something simpler. I recommend if you go on YouTube and type in one lone coder. I could do it now, I guess. Yeah, like I said, it's a bit of a chiller stream. So one lone. This guy. If you want to get into game dev anyway, or want to try it, go to his older videos and pick something like the first person shooter on the command line. I think there's Tetris in here, which is quite good. Snake, do his Snake video, do his pick something that's kind of interesting that you might want to try. His older videos, the reason I'm saying the older ones is because they're simpler. Like, I've done this one. You can actually find a video of this on my YouTube channel. For example, yeah, just so, code it yourself. Find the early, 40 to 30 minute video. Like, this is the simplest one, the Snake. And just see if you enjoy the process, right? And that's what I recommend for, people who are starting out and they're maybe interested in doing something with a game. And it's very simple. There's no complicated graphics that you have to deal with. Okay, so let's just see if we can beat this up now. No, we've done that. Spiritual coding, soul coding. Create texture. But if you don't want to do that, if you just want to just chill and not have to learn to code, that's also completely fine. So now we can get rid of this, which is the whole goal of what I just did. Go back into main, get rid of this. Okay, so let's just see if I've broken everything and destroyed the world, which I probably have. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, good luck, honestly, coding banana. So it doesn't compile, which... okay, so this is what I was kind of... Oh, right, yeah, let's get rid of that. And, of course, we need to now do... Okay, so that's just me forgetting to change some things. So, easy fix, easy fix. Yeah, try and keep it fun. That's my general advice for beginners, honestly. Do what's fun. If you're just starting out, to see if you actually want to learn it, then it'll give you more motivation to read a book, right? If you've done stuff and you actually know you want to do it. That's why I picked that guy, because he actually has fun projects like making Snake, for example. And then you can actually play it and see if that's see if you actually want to do programming. Then picking a C++ book or whatever language you want to use. Will be easier to digest. Anyway, let's just see everything. Let's just watch everything break. Okay, so Current capacity is 0. Oh, okay, so I need to initialize the array first, which is fine. Let's do that. So thankfully I've set up a guard against me being dumb. But it's so thank you, former self, for protecting me against my own stupidity. Effectively what that was telling me is that I'm trying to allocate a piece of... I'm trying to allocate something into an array, and the array has nowhere to put the memory, so... we've got to also say that... when we do this, we initialize the memory, so... Images... I wasn't sure if I could just copy everything over. I kind of wasn't sure, so... Windows... Where's the system allocator live? I think it's Windows. Oh, it's memory service, memory service. Memory service and instance system allocator, which is the big one. 6 and 6, I think I need both. What are you complaining about? Let's just see what the issue is. Yeah, books are awesome, 100%. I'm going through a book. I'm going through concurrency in C++ at the moment. Oh, right. Really? That's just living there on the stack. That's what I was doing yesterday. I was going through the book. I've wrote a lot of notes. Right, okay, so that should get rid of that error on the copy array. So we'll see if the mem copy is valid. There we go, look at that. Very nice. Cool, that worked surprisingly well. I did not expect that to work at all. I expected that to be a battle. But fantastic. Right, okay, so let's simplify this code then. What I want to do is, because now I can take this and check if it works for everything else. So we're going to copy over this and paste. And now I want to see for other things does it work. I think it does. Fantastic. Yeah. Would be a bit odd. Sorry. Would be a bit odd for Windows, for the window to add its own system allocator. Yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting where to put it. Books, abstract, code. Yeah, 100%. Haha, the redness of the rocks. Indeed. Oh, yes. Okay, so that is a thing I need to worry about now, which is just deallocate the array of textures. So let's clean that up. So I believe I have a... Okay, so this is a bit tricky. Can I just take images and shut down without destroying the universe? We'll see. I don't know if I need to keep this around, but we'll see. Equals ducks, indeed. Yep, okay, that's chill. We don't have a dangling pointer, which is kind of what I was scared about. I think because we copied the data over, so that's chill. Now, is there a way to make this a little cleaner? So, what I might do is actually send in the yeah, what I'm going to do is actually improve this a little bit. We're going to have another variable which tracks the... Oh no, is it here? Layer count. So we're going to set the layer count basically when we set the images, because the layer count is clearly different at that point. So image count. Yeah, I'm glad you all enjoying my music taste. And layer count, not image count. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to do this here and this. Nope. Image count, image count. Go into here and make this less clumsy. I might add a destructor actually. I've kind of, because I've been reading C++ stuff, I'm kind of like, maybe I should add a constructor, because yeah, I'm gonna add a destructor, just so I don't have to worry about destroying this image. Nothing fancy, it's just going to shut down the array, because we do have some memory now to worry about. Let's throw this in, Tilden, texture creation, throw this in, and I'm not usually a fan of this type of stuff, but considering this just goes out of scope, and so I've got to make sure this is empty. So if images dot size, I don't think it matters at this point, is greater or equal to 1, and images, I say, I'm writing the logic, I could just say literally that. So images, kind of simplify things down. Shut down. Alright, so now when we go to scope, be right back, one's calling you. No problem, dude. Why are you not using Vim? Why are you not using Vim Motion, brother? Oh, because I'm on Windows. Mini alloc is pretty much Windows orientated code. Yeah, someone's talked about that. I'm not actually 100% on what mini alloc is. We're doing just cleanup at the moment, so yeah, Visual Studios for Windows. If you're open source, it's completely free to use. There's no license to pay. It's IDE. It's fine. It's nothing that. I am getting into NeoVim. I'm learning it on off stream. Dipped my toes into it yesterday when I was writing some threading code as practice. Okay, so that should do exactly the same things, but now everything's a bit easier to use there without having to remember to shut down the images and stuff like that. And then we'll get rid of this temp function. Nice. Okay, when we shut down, we are cleaning up properly. Nice. Okay. And now I can delete this function entirely, because it does exactly the same as create texture, which removes what, 22 to, yeah, over 100 lines of code right there, which is quite a bit more, like 140 lines of code. Cool. Right. This create texture. Let's make sure that works. I'm using TLFS allocator to do my system allocations, if anyone's wondering, which is just a double-sided allocator meant for real-time real runtime applications, like video game engines and stuff. It's like designed around that specifically. So yeah, okay, cool. We did that. I'm probably going to be doing a bit pushing today, I think, a lot. Because the last thing I want to do is like have to git stash because I absolutely destroyed the engine and remove a bunch of work that we've just done. So let's do that. Yep, so we delete a bunch of stuff. We added mini audio, which is chill. So added, which we might try and do today. We might add some audio, which would be nice. I've been promising that for like 3 live streams in a row. Deleted code. I don't know. I know what to call this. Deleted create texture temp, I guess. And removed some redundant. No, whatever. Barrier code. Dyslexia is you bitch. We just had to put up with the shoddy spelling when it comes to my git pushes. If you do actually want to see my my project, it is linked in the description. There we go. So you can learn not what to do by looking at my code. Okay, so next thing I want to try is... Right, so we looked at this earlier. I got completely distracted. We did something else. Otherwise, you'll find VS pretty much the best. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Visual Studios is fine. There's nothing... It could be better, it could be worse. That's how I learn to code, really. I actually learned to code on code blocks. Albert, thank you for joining us there. So smart. I don't know what you're referring to, but thank you. Appreciate you turning up, dude. Hopefully everyone's having a great weekend and chilling. All right, so create swap chain. What do the new kids on the block do when they're not worrying about render passes and subpass dependencies, yada yada yada? Which is what I did, which is not good. A lot of this DNA is shared with the Vulkan tutorial that no one should learn from. Yeah, so we have some DNA here that we might want to get rid of. So there's a lot of stuff in the new tutorial which is done differently. So the first thing I've noticed is it uses SDL get window size, which is not what I use at all. Then it pauses the device immediately, which is interesting because I don't pause the device at all for some reason. I don't know if that's bad, but we'll find out, I guess. It creates the so we create the swap chain. I think I'm doing pretty much the same stuff. Oops. Let's go back to my... I always forget. So we have memory. Why are these pinned again? Oh, I don't know. We can get rid of these. Pin this from minutes so I don't lose it because it's not part of my project. And let's just compare and contrast. So SDL, we should have the Windows size from the code from Windows get size. So let's have a look at my window. Is it Windows? So we have intit video. We also need to have intit audio actually as well, because we're actually going to use SDL in tandem with mini audio. I think it needs all these together, right? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so they're great. Obviously, we don't initialize literally everything. What else is here actually? Joystick. Implies intit venter. Well, I might not have joystick set up actually. Interesting. Anyway, Yeah, we do want audio, because we're going to use the audio setup code, a mini audio, to drive the actual thingy. Right. Let's see. If you haven't edited the IMGUI, you have to stop the device before resizing, or it's 07, abort crash. That's probably why they're doing it. I actually don't know. But when I resize on Windows, I will say only on Windows, we don't get any issues. But that's because, like I said, it's still fine. Full screen, minimize the going to 0 issue. Oops, can be come back. But I'm ready to look at like what should be done. Just because it works nice on one operating system doesn't mean it works on the others. Which I found out 2 days ago. Okay, so let's just mess around with what I was gonna do, which is so they use Windows get size, which is interesting. I want to see what the difference is. So let's look up the documentation versus this and the other one we're gonna do. SDL get size. Okay, so yeah, not surprising this. The Windows client area. Is this DPI aware, I wonder? This Windows pixel size may differ. Okay, from the coordinate size, if the window is high pixel display. Use... Oh, so it's not DPI aware. That's the only difference. Alright, so we're gonna stick to what we were doing and ignore this then. Yeah, because we want to make sure the DPI aware. Someone might have a high-res monitor. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, honestly, with my event, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But if Ratchet doesn't have it, his engine's really is a bit more advanced than mine, so I'll assume that if Ratchet doesn't need to do it, then I probably don't need to do it either. It's just maybe the way this is set up. I have a lot more defense against issues when it comes to resizing. Which I actually do need to get to, so let's get to that anyway. So presentation. What I mean by defense, I mean like there's lots of this going on, which makes sure that in different places of the code that we're handling the appropriate resize event at the right time, and here as well. So we do a bunch of defense against things that the user might want to do. I honestly am not that keen on letting the user arbitrarily resize the window because it kind of breaks something else. So, but this is just nicer to debug, I guess. But anyway, let's just keep going. Let's just see what happens, right? So window size, image extents, which is the... So it destroys the image view. What I'm really interested in is the depth, actually. Depth, swap chain, image count. What are we looking at here? So that's the image views and the images. Alright, so it's creating both of them. It destroys and creates the semaphores, which I think I do. Let's just check. As far as I can tell, this is very similar so far, at least. My recreate swap chain. Let's find it again. Create resize, I think I called it. Yeah, okay, so let's go through our code. Okay, so we destroy the images. Do I actually destroy the semaphores? That's a good question. Why do you need to destroy the semaphores and not everything else? Let me just check. Destroy render semaphores. Recreate only the render semaphores as well? Huh, weird. And that happens before they destroy. So this is all happening in the destroy function. So, and we destroy the surface. All right, yeah, it's great. So he's only destroying the render semaphores, not the acquire image semaphores, I think. Or are they both the same? I don't know. Yeah, present semaphores. So he's called them present. So what are the render semaphores then? Are these the acquire image? These are used in... let's see. So destroy, yes. I think I went past it, didn't I? Frames in flight. I wonder if I've made a mistake here, actually, looking at this. So he's resizing based on the swap chain images for this one. Ah, right. Okay, that could be breaking everything on my end, actually. And that's why you have to redestroy them and create them. Okay. I think there's a mistake in my engine, actually, looking at this. When I create that particular semaphore, I think I'm just doing frames in flight. Again, Ratchet is probably going to try and strangle me. He's been around for the live streams long enough to see me make this mistake over and over and over again. But I think when I recreate when I'm actually creating the semaphores, I think I just blindly say, okay, frames in flight equals 3, create all the semaphores the same, which makes no sense if I'm using the image index to index into them, because the frames in flight might not be the same as the image count, and then everything kind of breaks down because then we have like the wrong amount of thingies. Okay, let's try and fix that. That's actually really cool. There we go. Oh my bruh. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of the DNA is shared with the old Vulkan tutorial, which I do not recommend anyone uses to learn. But let's just see if I'm actually doing this. Where are the semaphores? Let's just like go VK create semaphore. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Shame, shame, shame. I should whip myself. Yeah, okay, so this is wrong. Completely wrong. And we need to resize the image. Okay, yeah, so we need to move this out, put this here. And also, when I actually initialize this variable, we also need to do this not with the swap chain image count, but with the... where is this actually coming from? Yeah, we need a different variable here. So frames in flight are not the same as thingamajiggy. Frames in flight. That's the fences. Give me a minute. Where are these variables coming from? Where's this coming from? Oh, okay. Let's do a very simple, obvious equals. Okay, so swap chain capabilities. Frames in flight. What have I done that's different? So I've called them swap chain images, which doesn't quite tell me exactly what I've decided to pull out here. So is this the image views or the frames in flight? We can look at this, I guess, and just see. Where's max frames in flight come from? Yeah, because if I can figure out the differences, then I can fix this issue. I don't exactly know. Frames in flight, where are you set? Oh, you just set them hard set them. Interesting. So my frames in flight are the same as images. But that's not what you're supposed to do. So I can hard code the frames in flight apparently, but then I want to have them separate from that particular semaphore, I think. Alright, let's do it. You need, let me just read the chat. You need frames in flight in the acquired semaphore and the image count for the render semaphores. Yeah. Okay, so I get you. I just need to make sure that there's not a second. What I was looking for is I didn't want to make sure that I was there wasn't like a frames in flight get thing that you do from Vulkan, right? So I'm gonna have 3 frames in flight because that's what I've been rolling with. I don't really have any qualms against that. So this needs to exist still. So let's do a const xbr. Spell it. uint32 frames in flight. Three. Oh. You don't like that? Can't. Whatever then. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, Vulkan doesn't know what a frame is. So, when we go into our thingy... I mean, I could throw it in here, actually, as an anonymous variable, but... the semaphore... This is now frames in flight. Does know what this is? Hang on. I might have the same variable 3 times in multiple places. Nope. So that's... Yeah, frame in flight... what is this? Frames in flight. This needs to be fences in flight or something. The frame in flight will do for now. No, it won't. That's a bit of a rubbish name. If I can't have frames in flight, because the semaphore is also called that. The fence even. What do we want to do? What are we going to call this? It is frames in flight. I'm probably just going to rename this to fences. Because there's not really anything to do with frames. These are just fences. Yeah, this makes way more sense. And I'm gonna call this something else for a minute, just so I can do a search and replace for this to fences. I'll rename them again at some point in the future, just to make sense. Okay, so let's go back up here. Call this peak at definition S. Okay, cool. Now we want to do images. Yeah, and then render semaphore. It's different, so we get rid of this. And we do this. Very cool, very cool. uint32. Oh, what am I doing? Let's pull this out. I'm gonna reallocate everything 3 times over, whatever. Equals 0. Eyes. Let me do this. Eyes less than that. Blah blah. That should work now. Okay. So now we also need to destroy and create this on recreation of the semaphore. Recreation of the swap chain even. So when we destroy semaphore, destroy swap chain, we need to destroy this as well. Also, when we shut down, we actually need to do something different. Okay. VK. Okay, so we need to fix the. I will fix that in a minute. The music is looping, which we'll fix. You imagine using fences in the big 2026. This post was brought to you by Time My Semaphore Gang. Yeah, I haven't got around to that either. So what are these arguments? Actually, I can just look them up. I highly doubt this is very complicated. Yeah, I can imagine that it's... I actually need to pass in this thing. Oops. Yeah, okay. Just rob this. Go back. Throw this in here. Okay, so the semaphores are destroyed. I do not want to destroy the array, though. I just want to... because that would be kind of disastrous. I have to reallocate the array for no reason. But I do need to now fix the shutdown function, which takes this... takes 2 different for loops. So now we have frames in flight. Frames in flight. Okay, so you know what that is. Delete this. Swap chain image count is what we need to destroy here, which is going to be different. And now we need to deal with the increment, the frame incrementer, advanced frame, advance frame counter. There it is. Okay, so throw this in here. Not that. Now that. Very cool. Next is to. Hi man, how you doing? Good to see you. Anish. Right. Okay, so continuing onward. Okay, so now we need to recreate the semaphores. But I don't know when we do that, which is very easy to find out, I think. Now this could break everything, by the way, but I'm kind of excited for it. This is what we're here for today. We are here for breaking things. No, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to see what's correct. So destroy, then we create them. Oh, that's true. We need to resize based on, which I could do. Because yeah, technically, if we resize the semaphores, the array could be different size. I just don't want to allocate the. So this does a create. So when we create the, I'm gonna throw this in just to remind myself what we need to do. We need to go up to, what is it? Present? No, create swap chain. Create swap chain. Yep. And in here, when we create the image views, we need to create the semaphores too. Which is done. Yep, okay, so same deal. Throw this in here. So let's see. Let's grab this array. Copy over this for loop that we just pasted in, wherever it's gone. That one's looking. Oh, we also need the render semaphore struct, I guess. What is this? What is actually constructed here? Just that's the struct. All right, cool. Alright, throw this here. And done. Render semaphores, which is this array. Do I have a resize function? No. Following if we do have image count, where does this come from? This needs to be not here. And this needs to be deleted anyway. I don't know why I'm putting this here. This is kind of dumb. And image counts. Okay, cool. So what we need to do is make sure the array is the right size, which is on. Let's see. Let's just make sure if I. There it is, set size. So I don't have a resize, I have a set size. That can be used for both instances. Swap chain image. Cool. What else? Then you destroy the swap chain, images, depth. Okay, let's just see what happens. Yeah, timeline semaphores are sick. They just simplify everything. Okay, so that's me trying to allocate something without the allocator. And that is found in the create swap chain. What size is this? 3. Allocator is null. Oh, interesting. So we actually need to initialize this somewhere else. Let me so what we're trying to do there is resize a this is kind of tricky now. I think we don't need this because we've done it. I'm just going to comment it out for now. I'm going to move this into our create swap chain. No. Where is our create swap chain? Called? Not there. This is what I'm interested in. We want to initialize it here. Do we have these? Does this exist at this point? That's the next question. I'll have to see. Oh, yeah, sorry. I need to fix the music. Let me fix the music. We've been on this song for a while. Let's go, music. So YouTube, for some reason, decides to get stuck on the same, like, 3 songs when the playlist is big enough. So I don't know why that is the case, but it is. Alright, so Bear Wretched and Clank, that'll do. Now, is that junk because of... No, okay, that is junk. Okay, so we can't do that now. So when we create the swap chain... well, yeah, so we need to get that here. This is actually quite simple. I just need to guard against allocating it twice. Let's just chill. Because all we need to do is see if the size is equal to 0, then we need to allocate it. I think. Let's just check that my array class actually allocates these to 0, because that would be kind of awkward. So let's just... Oops, no, I actually want to keep that. Yeah, so with the information I have, I should be able to be like... If... What am I doing? Here we go. If... like this. So if you're not allocated... Actually, I could make this really simple on myself. Because if the allocator is null, then it hasn't been allocated, which is much easier to check, actually. So if the render semaphore allocator is equal to null, which means it hasn't been allocated, which is guaranteed to be null. Then we do this, otherwise we set the size only. Right. There we go. Cool. Nice. No, how? No. Never mind. That's why you pause the device. It's currently in use. VK Q device wait idle Vulkan device. Technically, I've made my resize slower now, but oh, got pushed out. Semaphore is still in use. Wait, is it the queue we're waiting for? No, it's the device. How are you able to delete the semaphores then? Yeah, how do you delete semaphores if it's in use? I've waited the idle, so... Huh. Sorry, I've waited on the GPU. Something I've missed or something? Yeah, the GPU shouldn't be doing anything unless it's completely skipped. Did I even compile? Let's put a breakpoint in. This will make my life easier, right? Right, so resize. Oh, interesting. So it happens before that. Or what? I'm confused. What? Create swap chain. Don't I? Oh, right. Duh. Okay. I'm waiting too early. That's sorry, too late. Wow. Breakpoints are useful. So throw this in here. Yeah, you can't if they're in use. Yeah. Let's put a breakpoint in. I mean, this will change the timing, but we should at least see that we've hopefully paused the GPU enough. Alright, cool. That's where I was going wrong. And... Blah, 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 blah. Can you recreate everything? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I have a bloody weak 8. Why do I have this here? This is so dumb. Alright, let's actually do that check around there, just in case it fails because of some weirdness. Like, someone's unplugged the GPU or something. Okay, yeah. What actually happens if you do that? Okay, let's go full screen. Let's resize the window. Let's do this. Let's go to 0. Let's go big. Cool. And let's close. We have a issue because destroy swap chain. Oh, right. We have a double delete here, which is easy to fix. Where is the shutdown yet? Don't want this now. If we're going to destroy the swap chain, then and on shutdown. But your swap does your swap chain code work in space? That's the question. Right, so shutdown, that should be... Oh, okay, so we got a double delete still? Question mark. Why? Yeah, shutdown. Oh, duh. Right, that's very simple. I've deleted the array too late. Too early, sorry, again. So the array's been deleted, so the allocator's been deleted, so I can't actually delete anything. Final. That should be it. Yep. Okay, next is to figure out what the hell is going on with the depth image, which is kind of what I'm here for, to be honest, because the depth image, I do not understand. I do, but it's like, I think I've just done it wrong, basically. Get rid of this now. Right. Depth image, create swap chain. Yeah, I just think I don't like the way I've done it. I've rewritten this before, so so what do they do? What do they do specifically? So this is all gibberish to me. I can't actually read any of this code. So I'm just going to put it in here so I can actually see the syntax highlighting. So they... Okay, but we don't need this. They VMA deletes image, which... Resize... What the hell is this doing? Create texture? So this is just literally resize... Okay. What? Alright, let's try and do this without this, like... I will still use this, How does it know this is the texture to delete? This is just a pool of memory. Then we access the... resources from the texture handle. Which then allows us to... set the handle, which is this thing, to that. Okay. Then we access the... What? Okay, I'm gonna comment this out and just see, like... What are we doing here? This is very weird. It's like I've put the deck... Why is there a separate depth image? This is the thing I don't understand. If we're using this and then this... Why are we accessing two textures for depth? Why is there two depth textures? And how do we know that this handle that we've pulled out of this resource pool is the actual depth texture that we need to delete? It just seems a bit random. Clearly the crew of Artemis 3 will be playing your game, duh. That's the one, yep. Gonna sell my game to NASA. They're gonna be playing it on the ship as they go up to the moon. Give them some practice on dodging some asteroids or something. Okay. Right, so we have resized texture and texture to delete. So we set the... This is all very confusing. I wrote this like 2 years ago at this point. So I think what we're trying to do here is effectively just resize the texture. How about we just don't do that and just delete the depth texture and just do it normally instead of like resizing the texture? Because I don't really see the benefit of resizing a depth texture. We can delete the depth texture like this and then just create it again like this. That makes things so much like simpler and easier to read. And it's kind of what we did anyway with when we recreate the swap chain. Like we're kind of doing that anyway. We have to recreate the swap chain in all the images, so yeah, we do this here with all the same stuff. So I feel like, yeah, let's just do that. In fact, it looks like we don't even have to delete the texture, but we'll do it anyway. But you do need to resize the depth texture when you're rendering. Yeah, what I'm saying is instead of resizing the texture, when we recreate the swap chain, we just delete the texture and then remake it again. Because at the moment we're deleting it and then like resizing a texture. So we're going to resize it based on the what is it called? The creation struct, the image creation struct, but we're just going to make it a depth image. Create that image view and the image corresponding to that. And yeah, just not do this, because this, what is this doing? This it adds it to a queue. This is tricky. Can we safely delete a texture right now, immediately? Not sure. I think we should be good. So let's try the VMA. I actually deleted textures this way. It's kind of interesting. Because when I actually let's do it my way, right? Destroy texture instance, and then take in the depth texture. So this is which is a handle. What does it actually need? It needs the index. Next is to, so that'll destroy all our stuff. Then we want to recreate this depth texture. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of steal this, but also make it like not horrible to read. So this is going to be, no, actually I'm gonna completely change this because this is not fun to read. VMA. Yeah, sweet. Apparently, depth allocator. Create info. Flag equals dedicated only. Could probably just say, and then usage auto. Usage VMA usage. Grab that. And then we want to check with, well, actually do that in a minute. So VMA create image and allocator. We actually do have an allocator here. Is that the right one? I think it's the VMA allocator there. VMA. Allocator. And yo, what's up, YipTag? How you doing, dude? Do you use nested if statements? Yeah, resize is just create, yeah, delete the old one. But I'm just kind of like, I want to simplify what we're looking at here, because like, I don't quite understand how we're able to extract the correct resource to delete, put it in a deletion queue, and then delete it later. In the Air engine, I actually rewrote this completely. This is not the same. I can't remember why. Okay, so it needs alloc info, which is the depth. Do I use nested if statements? Depends. I don't think I use them much, if at all. I think there's a video out there that says like don't use nested if statements, use something else. I can't remember. So we need to get the, let's just do a bit of copy and pasting. Burp. Okay. grab this. This should be 0. Actually, yeah, just delete this. We don't need this at all. The texture is... What's the format? Let's Google it. I want to see all the formats listed. We don't currently have a... we want the... I think I've got a get depth format checker. Oh yeah, that's actually what we need. And... oh, that's the image layout. What the heck? So the extents... do we have these? They invite bugs to hide. Yeah, I'm not... nested if statements. Like an if statement and an if statement, like this. Yeah, I don't... I think there is a way... there are ways to write code that doesn't... like, you have to design your code differently, that you don't have, like, 2 ifs or whatever. But I just write the code I need, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. The VK formats. Oh, yeah. This is the D3. Actually, what am I doing? This is super easy to figure out. I just realized something. This depth texture is actually already created with everything it needs to be, like this. This is everything I need for what we're trying to do here. This is the image, right? No, it's the texture creation. Then we go. Here's the depth image. Blah blah blah. We get these from. Yeah. Okay. So. This goes in here. Create text. Yeah, I think I'm doing too much work here. Depth, texture creation. And I think I've pretty much done everything then. If I create the texture proper. I think I've done the image view image. Yeah, I was duplicating a bunch of code there. And let's just comment this out. Just see. So we try and delete the texture and then we just recreate the texture with the texture. Texture. Hello, what's good? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, just chilling. We're just seeing if we can resize the swap chain in a different way. Yeah. Chilling. We are chilling. And full size, resize to 0, which is always a thing you gotta check against. If you allow resize, minimize, maximize, close. Cool. Yep, there we go. That was much simpler. I'm gonna get rid of this. Yeah, I hope you're having a great weekend, Alex. How is yes. People have opinions on it. I think there's a video actually that's quite good about explaining it. I've watched the nested if statement thing. I don't know. I just try and keep my code basic, basically. Okay, so we have done something else. Let's commit it. We haven't broke anything. We haven't changed anything. We've just changed. We have updated. That's what I'm not even to say fixed. Creation. Okay, right. Swag. Yeah, again, if you want to check out this code, check the space branch though if you actually want to see what I'm doing. It's linked in the description. Okay, that's a pretty good burn. I still use them, admittedly, but only for putting to standard out. That's not a burn on Kalia, that's a burn on the C++ developer. Yeah. Sorry, I use them when I need to like have a quick output. I don't actually use them in the engine. Actually, that's a lie. I don't actually use them here. Okay. Audio, I guess we could do. Let's do. Oh, let's just actually before we do, let's just see the entity system. Right. Let's just figure out if we can fix this and make it a little less clumsy. Standard print supremacy. Yeah, that's. Isn't that like a last time I heard that's a C++ 26 feature for some reason. Right. What do I want to do? I want to go into my scene. 23. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's 23 or 26. Right, what I want to do is just see if I can remove this if statement. And the other thing I need to fix, I think I removed. Actually, let's do that now. I need to check if the entity itself is asleep. I don't think I've actually done that, even though I said I did it. Which makes me a big fat liar. How dare I lie? This is the... let's go to... What is it called? Jolt GitHub to see the example codes. I think the example code has this like straight up and like right at the beginning, so... Yep, that's what I want to see. And how do I check if something's asleep or live? Okay, so body interface is active. Okay, so this I need to be careful with this. Fortunately, we still update the player based on is active or not. And body interface. I don't know. This might be just a complete not gain at all. Is active based on this fella. So is dynamic, does exist, and is it active? Right, so let's grab that out and put this in. So we have to ignore that for the player because the player. What is this? The debug geometry? Yes. The player can go inactive, but it's also important that we say. Let's see our FPS. I haven't done that in a while. So I've written a bunch of other stuff, so I think our FPS is going to go down quite a bit. Well, it's more important that we have a... So yeah, you see this going inactive. So now, I think if I wait long enough, these go inactive. Yeah, so 2 of them have now gone inactive. Question, if I crash into them... What the heck? Okay, so I went through that one. What is going on? Why is there 2? Okay, let's do that again. Get him to wait a minute. 1 went down, so there should only be 2 active bodies. I'm just going to wait for them to go to sleep. So I'm just waiting for the message to pop up twice. Body went to sleep. Cool. And then crash into it. Oh, weird. That's so strange. What? So it like spawns another one? Let me guess when that goes to sleep. Just waiting a bit longer. I don't know if it's active yet. No. Okay, so that was a big air fail. So if we get rid of this, just make sure this isn't a bug without this. Because this could be like a really bad bug. I've just duplicated some code. Hang on. One mistake. Can't wait for C++ 26 to be supported by compilers. Nice. What feature are you looking forward to in 26? Have you got anything in mind? Alright. Reflection. Ah, okay, yeah. Okay. I forgot about reflection. Yeah, there's no reflection in C++ at the moment. Oh, wrong button. How do I go down again? Oh, I've disabled that. Nope. Okay, so that is correct. So it was me adding that extra if statement. Whatever. Let's do music. Most compilers supported already. Right. Don't know. I am pretty behind on the C++ standard. I don't really use that much C++ stuff. I, however, will start using where is it? Threading with standard stuff, like so. I'm probably going to go as new as C++ 20. The horrors, C++ 20. Just for the threading. I'm not sure if that's going to mess up my containers though, and I need to implement forward iterators. Right, so music. We have this open for a reason. I don't think there's a dark mode, so I'm sorry, I guess. Shows how to use. Okay, so we want to use it with SDR. By default, Mini Audio's API will initialize a device internal for audio output. You can instead use the engine independent of a device to shut this off. We'll use SDLs for audio instead of Mini Audio. This example will load the sounds specified on the command line and rotate it around the listener's head. Okay, interesting. So, change this to your SDL. We have 2 channels. So this is C. This is all C, but it's translatable to C++. Okay, so we need an engine. We need sound. Excuse me. Excuse me. I think what I'm going to do actually. Oh, I'll just pause the mic for a minute. I don't know where that came from. I think I'm going to make an audio class / files and stuff. And yeah, we're going to be very inspired by this, but I think to throw this all in main would be a bit of a sham, a bit of a shame. Because we can very much easily make a make this into an object and kind of just have it chilling. Right. Are you on MSVC, Ratchet? I thought you would be on something else. From what I've heard, they slashed the MSVC compiler team down. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, because I don't use any advanced features. I've never really noticed any issues. I just make sure it runs on Linux on GCC. Anyways, let's make some audio files, hey? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go into Audacity briefly. So we're going to do a bit of non-game development. Well, game development kind of. And I'm just going to edit a file because I want a specific sound effect that I had and I accidentally deleted. Right, so I need to go into this, considering we're not doing actual game development like programming. Pause that and open a file. No. So you're just gonna have to, like I said, chill stream. So I'm just gonna, just do what I want. Right. So can you? Oops. No, don't open it. God dang it. Drag. Yeah. Pain in the ass. So I think I've got to close VLC as soon as it opens. Waiting for it. Yep. Thank you. I will turn down the audio on this because I don't want to deafen you guys if I can. Is there a volume setting in Audacity? I actually don't know. Audio setup host. Where is? I should just look it up, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's just Google it because yeah, I don't want to deafen you guys who are listening. Yeah. I know what you mean, yip tag there. Lower output volume in Audacity. Alright. Is there a... Oh, I can just drag that. Cool. Yeah, so... Yeah, we want it around there. Yeah. I'll just listen to it, I guess. Not that. Nope. Nope. So what I'm going to do is just extract some audio from... I've missed it. Maybe it's this. Yeah, it's one of these. There it is. Okay. We're going to have that. It's like one of the most satisfying sound effects in like all of video games. Maybe not the best. Not the top one. But yeah, it's super sick. So we're just gonna delete these and then delete everything else on this side. Yeah, okay. So if you want a small audio, I don't mind that being spammed in my ears. So export audio onto the computer. Right, I'm not exactly sure what it can support. So in this example project, what are we working with here? Are we working with a WAV file? What is this? I'll do both. I'll do both just to be safe, right? I'll do. Yeah. Obviously, this would need to be compressed. I'm not going to send you guys raw audio, but well, I don't know. It's one of these things where it's like, is it actually needed? It's not like I'm sending you GCA 6 or something. So .wav, which is uncompressed. Oh, what? Oh, it's not. Change it to WAV. Right, okay, so we got both. And that went to my Audacity folder. Oh, no, it didn't. Where did it go? I wasn't paying attention. Export to... Where's it going? See, shared recording. Okay. Yeah, review. Oh, why is it still going there? That was a long time ago I made that video. No. Okay, so shared recordings. And... end of year thingy. Right, cool. Take these, cut, put them in the assets folder. In our project. Yeah, thanks for bearing with me with that. But we gotta have some audio to play. Yeah, we're not having that. It's kind of rubbish sound effect. And I'm gonna change these to something a bit more digestible to type in. Gunstar Heroes. Yo, love this song. Collect, I guess. This is my favorite song in all of Crash Team Racing. If you haven't played it, it's such a good kart racer. And I shall, not that it needs to be copied, but I will copy it anyway. Cool. So this, I don't want to play it because it's going to be like super loud. But at least it's like a pleasant sound in my ears, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? That isn't like annoying. I mean, it might become annoying, but right. Let's actually get some coding done, right? So we want to. Where do I stick this? Right, because I don't really know. I'm gonna put this in just the base at the moment. So, oops, audio, CVP, copy do, copy paste. So no modules for us. We're all in the CPP. Okay, right. Yeah, I don't want to think about trying to do this in Visual Studio's modules. So yeah, we're gonna have to have like a different folder eventually. Audio. Let's run CMake script. I think I like to stay on the second last revision of the standard. So you're on 23 now. Oh, I see. So you're not quite on like... Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you don't want to try and use a C++ 16 feature. And stuff like that. Reload. And it all goes wrong. Okay, dokie. Right. Audio. Right. If and def. Yes, I don't use Pragma once. I like to be extra verbose with my header guards. Because technically, as last time I heard, not that I don't do this. I've just always done it this way. That's the reason I do this. But I could be extra anal and be like, well, Pragma once isn't actually in the standard. Last time I heard anyway. Okay, so audio. Okay, so we want to grab out the. So yeah, we're definitely gonna make an object here because we need like stuff. So struct. I'm just gonna make it really simple though. It's just gonna be a struct of things in it. Nothing interesting. We want to have things as much though in the CPP file to avoid compiling things across the whole. So yeah, we're going to take these guys out, put them here for now. Unlikely will also be the same case. Alright, so let's look at the lovely, so we need a couple of things. These are going to go in, yeah, I kind of want to take this out and kind of like have it easier to reference. And just to get it working. Oh, you use Clang, right? Fair enough. I thought, yeah, I had a feeling you wouldn't use MSVC. Yeah, I would be surprised. I'm just using it because I'm lazy. Anyway, what do I want to do? I'm going to put this in like Notepad++ or something. And we want to... like that. And then kind of do like a side-by-side deal. Not super clean, but... yeah, this will help us just like write code a bit faster. Anyway, namespace const. Let's change this language at least so we can see syntax highlighting. C++. There we go. Okay. This should be static. I don't know if const expert. I don't know how it handles namespaces. Technically, this is static because it's an anonymous namespace, but alright. S channel equals 2. This needs to be U in 32. Need to include platform. Platform. This song's also super sick. Yeah, okay, so context bird knows what to do. Nice. Well, we've I feel like we've made quite a lot of progress considering I've just been like freeballing it. Sample rate S UN 32. I mean, even if I just like give up now and just start crying or something. I don't know why I said that, but there we are. I think we've done quite well. 4,000 whatever. Alright, so MA engine. It's called G engine for some reason. Why are you calling everything G? Okay, so must be stereo. G engine. G engine. Oh, global. Right, okay. Because it's static. I was trying to figure out exactly why. So, engine. And because I'm aware that... okay, so we're definitely going to have to move this out. I knew immediately, basically, this wasn't going to work. Because what I want is include... I mean, this is obvious, like, we need an array. We need to throw this in here. Let's put this above. Because we need an array of sounds, right? I mean, we're going to have only have one for now, but yeah, we got to have an array, dude. There's no way. Sounds. Right, what else do we want? So we have the engine, which is just the we have data callback, right? Okay, so I'm assuming this needs to be static to the class. So void. Well, actually, let's think about what we're actually doing here, right? Okay, so let's actually write the initialization code and write this when we need it. Otherwise, we're going to be in a situation where we're kind of writing code we don't actually know what we're doing. Int it. So I want to have initialization function. And it takes no arguments right now, as far as I can tell. Audio. Intit. Oops. Cool. What am I doing? And we need void. Did I not add void to the... I bet I didn't, did I? I know I did. Okay. Okay, so we have an MA result, sure. Now, I'm probably not going to do any error checking. I'm not going to do returns or anything. I want to keep it all self-contained, so it's all just, if the error happens, it happens in here. So results. Whatever, it doesn't have to be initialized. What is it with C programmers and camel case? Honestly, it's like, I can't stand it. There we are. Just people just love like destroying my pinky finger with the shift key. Bro is a master of using a keyboard. Yeah, I'm a master of pressing the wrong keys, I guess. So SDL audio. So we have this 3 times. So that's right. No, we have this twice. Okay. So nope. We need to do this. SDL audio spec. So not entirely sure what these are. So desire spec. So we need SDL in here. So the SDL audio maybe. Let's put this here. Include. So SDL includes what? Well, I don't want to include literally everything. Oh, SDL3, okay. Is SDL underscore audio? Yeah, that's what I'm after. But let's do that instead, right? Cleaner. Ah, snake case, that's the one. Yeah, camel case is the other one. Yeah, I don't understand it. But, you know, to each their own. Every time you use someone else's library, this is what you have to put up with. Snake case. And then you got SDL, which uses both. There we are. I guess it would be more annoying, I guess, to type out little SDL and then like it's not quite as clean as Vulkan, where it's like VK something. Okay, so we have an error for no input. Okay, so let's read these. Documentation. We'll need to initialize the engine first for the purpose of this example, but since the engine and SDL are independent of each other, you can initialize them in any order. Good. You need to only make sure that the channel count and the sample rate are consistent between both. Sure. So that sounds good. When initializing the engine, it's important to make sure we don't initialize a device internally because we want SDL to be dealing with that for us instead. Okay, fantastic. Okay, engine config, and we have MA engine inted. So I assume this config is not the same as what I just read, which is the device, right? The audio device. No device. Ah, okay, so this is the telling us not to MA true. Right. Just make sure, yeah. Alright. We don't need this because SDL is doing this for us. Right, engine config channels equals S channels engine sample rates equals sample rate. Very, very simple so far. So good. Then we initialize the engine. Okay, so results equals MA engine. Engine intit. Right, so engine config. So this is very, very similar to reference. This is very similar to Vulkan. This is extremely familiar. So we can probably actually. Do you want to do a check here? What do I want to do? Yeah, let's do a check. So that means we need foundation assert. And we want to throw in a check. Doesn't know what that is. Oh, I think I wrote that in the actual. Yeah, we can actually make this better. But for now we'll just do a void assert, just simpler. Result is not equal to. So this has to be false. Could not initialize audio engine. Yeah, backslash. Alright. I mean, I can clean this up a bit better, but it's not a big deal. So let's just see how far we can get. So I don't really know off the top of my head if this is going to work, so I just want to see if we can actually initialize the audio. I might be missing something though in SDR. Yeah, the so when it's setting up SDR, what does it do? Yeah, into subsystem. Sure. Yeah, that's something I just need to make sure that's correct. Okay, so let's bring this back in. Not that much. Right, so go back to Windows. And I don't know if it's initialized here though, that's the question. I don't know. Yeah, I think it does. Alright, I don't think we need to worry then. Alright, we'll find out. We'll find out when once it like completely breaks itself. So now we want to test this. We want to throw in include audio. Let's see, right? So I'm just going to throw in a quick struct and press audio. Oops. Audio. Audio. I don't think it matters where it's initialized, but yeah, we just want to make sure that this is good. And I will throw in a breakpoint just to make sure it's running. Yeah, I effectively want to see if this intit works. And we have... Scroll up. Linker errors out the wazoo. It's already defined. So we've got a double include here. I think. Did I not cut it out? Where's this included? Is this included anywhere else? Bit of a confusion right now. Audio, and it's just in the C. I might be doing this wrong. That might be what we're supposed to do. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That would be only necessary if we were... If we didn't have a thing compiled already in the vendor code. Yeah, we just... All we did then was we accidentally defined the functions twice. Which causes linker errors because it doesn't know what translation units to look in when it compiles and links. So, swag. We fixed that. Next thing to do is to actually do what we wanted. Okay. That's... Right, what do we get? Access violation. Not what I expected, admittedly. Read access violation on device. If device is not equal to null. Wait, what? We said no device. Huh? Alright, we'll make device null. I don't know if it's been initialized to junk or something. Was it P device? Where was it? In engine? Is it in engine? I actually don't know where it lives. P device, where is it? Bruh. Right, I'm just gonna say let it die again. It would be interesting to look at something in CryEngine. Oh, to like look at the source code and stuff and see what it's doing. So this is, what is this? Can I peek? That's in the function anyway. Okay, so it is mEngine, and mEngine has a P device. Is this private or something? Error. Okay. That's not useful at all. Okay, so the engine is trying to use a device. I think... Let's look at the example again. We have... okay. G engine. Did I miss something? MA true. What is happening? This is very strange. Yeah, so it doesn't initialize the device, right? Yeah. Which makes sense. Then it says... Oh, hang on. Why are we even in this like what? I'm a bit confused. We shouldn't be in this code at all. I think this might be happening because of something I missed. I think I know what to, I think I know what to do. Go into my where is it? Jolt, no, what, external. I go into here. I think what I need to do is also define this here. That is what I think I need to do. As far as I can tell, at least. And if I go into audio... I think that's what's happening. I think what's ended up happening here is we've got a... I mean, it doesn't really... I don't think it does anything there. This is just the definition. We'll see, we'll see. But when it actually runs the function, it needs to actually get the define function. So if I put a breakpoint in there and... Yeah, it's a good job I checked this early. So the question is... Blah, blah, blah. What did I miss? Oh, okay, cool. That did skip over literally everything, which is what we want. Alright, so I believe if I press F10, what is success? Invalid args. Huh? What's that mean? Okay, so this is a bit strange. I've never used this library before, so this is the first time I've seen it. Alright, breakpoints. We obviously got to about here last time, so let's put this here. Let's see what happens next, eh? Oh. Channels is equal to 0 and sample rate is equal to 0. Bruh. You're not equal to 0. I don't know what to tell you there. I literally just assigned it. This is because it's static. Alright, let's just make it numbers. Not good, but... Okay. So it's something to do with the assignment. Let's get rid of this context pair stuff. No, I just pressed the wrong button. So I'll just make it static. Very simple. It's basically the same thing, except it now can't be changed. So maybe that can now be assigned. Alright, break. Didn't expect these difficulties, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, 1, 2. Alright, cool. So now if I F10, we shouldn't get that. Oh. They're not equal to 0 though. What? This is equal to 2 and this is equal to 48,000, right? And we're saying if this is equal to 0 and if this is equal to 0, either or, if either or any of these equal to 0, then this is bad. And the statement becomes true and it goes in here. Then it returns. Which it comes out with a negative. What is happening? I'm so confused. Alright, I'm just going to do a rebuild because sometimes IntelliSense is a bit weird. Sorry, Visual Studio is a bit weird. And we haven't done a rebuild in a while, so... It's going to take a minute though, but it is what it is. It's one of like the vibiest musics in this game, Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Just like chilling. Just running around, trying to find random shit for the game. Hopefully everyone's doing good. I'm doing good. Just gonna check something while we're compiling. Nice. Right, okay. So this can happen just for people who are wondering, like, why am I recompiling? Sometimes incremental builds can go wrong, and you can get like a strange bug that makes no sense. And I'm just kind of wondering, because I've included some things, I haven't regenerated the project in a while. Maybe this bug is coming about because I haven't rebuilt. Which source would you suggest to learn? To learn Vulkan? I recommend How to Vulkan. I can give you a link directly if you just hold on. It's the best beginner's tutorial if you're talking about Vulkan specifically. If you're talking about C++, I think Learn CPP is the best free resource right now. So I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to, but this is what we're doing. Like Learn CPP. Like if you go through Learn CPP first and then Vulkan, like you'll be very good. All the resources are fantastic. There's a lot more when it comes to learning C++, but there you go. How to Vulkan is like a great introduction to getting a modern Vulkan renderer working. Don't go to the Vulkan tutorial, please, whatever you do. There's a Vulkan tutorial. That is old. That's 2016. That's old Vulkan. You don't want to do that anymore. So yeah, either of those two, depending on what you want to do. There is something called the Vulkan Guide, which is a bit more advanced. It goes over a lot of the same stuff as How to Vulkan. But you can basically go to that when you're a bit more advanced and you won't be as in trouble, effectively. Okay, so let's see. What do we got? F11. Actually, let's just check. What have we got? Okay, so it still hasn't worked. Let's see why then. So it's 0 right now, and I don't know why. Okay, let's just throw some random numbers in. So when I come in here with random numbers, how does it deal with that? So it's a const reference pointer. What have you... What? I do not understand this. It's not like we've gone out of the scope, so it's not like these variables don't exist or anything. Okay, just for speeding along, we're in vibes mode at the moment, which means we're just chilling, not vibe coding. I'm just gonna put them as values. Yeah, no problem. I really wish you the best on your journey there, Stormzy. You know, it's a tough thing to do, but if you want to become a graphics programmer, it's actually... Are you serious? Bruh. What are you doing? Okay, let's just comment this out, because I do not get this at all. What is happening? We're just going to make it work. It shouldn't be 0. So I'm going to check this by... Oh, shit. I should have... Yeah, what's better, OpenGL or Vulkan? There's some stuff you can't do with Vulkan, sorry, with OpenGL anymore. But if you just want to make a quick renderer, I think OpenGL is still a fantastic thing. The drivers are very mature for OpenGL. But if you want to be on the bleeding edge of tech and you want to make, like, air quotes, the fastest renderer, because Vulkan supports threading a lot easier, yeah, Vulkan is... If you write it right, this is a very big caveat. If you write it correct, you can get more performance with Vulkan. But it's very... if you write it wrong, you can get very much slower than Vulkan versus OpenGL. So yeah, there's some... I think there's some advanced ray tracing things you can't do with OpenGL, for example. It's very on the edge of, like, you know, bleeding edge technology when it comes to graphics, because you can do ray tracing with OpenGL, as far as I'm aware. I haven't used OpenGL in ages, so my OpenGL knowledge is very basic. What value is this? Let's go to watch. P engine sample rate. Oh my goodness, are you serious? Alright. Alright, what we're going to do then is we're going to do this a bit different than this tutorial, because it's clearly not working the way we want. So we can do this with, because we're in C++. Sometimes in C you can't do that. I'm just going to comment this out for a minute. And no. What I'm going to do is, oops. What's the actual issue here? So if I print out values. Now, I'm not trusting the debugger right now because I'm not exactly sure what it's doing wrong. %, %I even. Just need to do this 3 times. Because it's not that complicated, I don't think we need that much stuff. I assume this is a, yeah, it's a boolean. So that'll work. Everything else should work because they're just numbers. Whoops. And okay. DirectX 12 is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with DirectX. What did it print? So 100% printed what we want. We have a 1, 2, and whatever. But as soon as I go in here with a pointer, this has the values again. What is happening? Am I like releasing it's like... Oh, no? Engine config. I think it might be getting wiped somewhere and I'm not paying attention. No resource manager. Okay. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. I feel like my compiler's messing up. I don't understand this at all. This is so strange. The reason I don't understand it is because the debugger is telling me that, like, I don't know how many programmers we have, like but I think a decent amount of programmers, right? This is false, right? This is telling me that it's 2. 2 is not equal to 0. This is false. This is an OR operator, so one of these needs to be true. This is also false. These are both false. This means it won't go in here, yet it does. When I actually comment this out and assign this here, this becomes 0. So the debugger is not telling me what I think what the values are. Which makes me confused. Right, let's try something else then. Let's try... If I add the C in here, I'm just kind of confused. Did we get the linker errors again? So we get linker errors when we did this last time. Yeah, we get linker errors. Oops. Okay. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to change tack a little bit. We're going to remove this from the from our project, and we're going to have. Oh, this can't be included here. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Yeah. Okay. So we've got some weirdness going on here with the debugger is telling me one thing and the error is telling me something else. So we're going to remove the C file from our project altogether, and we're going to build what's the soundtrack name? This is from Final Fantasy X. It is Challenge. It's like it plays when the hardest bosses when you're fighting them. So I'll throw that in there if you're interested. Boop, boop. And okay, so that works. Now, does it compile? Sorry, does it run? That's the next question. No. Yeah, this needs to be in the CBP file somewhere. The problem is, let's try it. I think we just get a double include issue here. Something like that, I guess. I mean, I could throw that in main, but I feel like we're just going to get defined twice. Yeah. Already defined, already defined. Shame. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, Final Fantasy X has some nice, underrated music. Alright, so we're just going to bring this back, because that didn't work. Because I'm not entirely sure where this function goes, if that makes sense. Like, I think IntelliSense is going, well, the debugger is going into this function, but I don't think it's this function that we're going into at all. I was trying to think. I mean, let's see. If I don't know why it does this, to be honest. Okay, for the error that we're going to check, I'm just going to do this arrow. Doesn't it? Oh, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And I'm just going to see if it's the copy that's happening. I don't think it is. I don't think it is, but let's see. We gotta rule stuff out bit by bit. Yeah. Invalid arg. So it's not that. Next thing to figure out is oops, didn't mean to do that. Right, sanity check. We got to do a sanity check. So this is a good idea to make sure that, okay, when we change this file, this is actually changing. Yep, okay, that's actually the file we're changing. Okay, we can actually go back. Oops. Control Z. Why is Control Z not going all the way back? Okay. Do that, and just put this back the way it was, because that didn't change anything. This is tough. So it doesn't compile this. And when I do the... hang on. This causes a redefinition of all the functions. Yep. So this is a linker error for anyone who's new to programming. Which means you can see that by the LNK at the side. So it's not a compilation error. It's the next stage after that. Turning the object files, these OBJ files, into a binary file. That step is called linking. And the error here is I've defined two functions twice, so multiple times. Oh. It's funny, I did not expect this to be the issue of the stream. Where we just can't get the data to transfer from one thing to another. I don't know. I literally have no idea. It's not like the thing goes out of scope. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw this in here, right? Because I'm starting to think that the fact that it's static or something like that is messing it up. I don't know if I'll need it outside of this function anyway, so we'll find out. No invalid args, had nothing to do with that either. What should I try next? Intit, config, desired. I mean, I could start setting these up, I guess, but I don't really use them at the moment. Yeah, I'm also going to initialize the audio in STL just to see if that makes a difference. I don't think it will though. I think we're just going to get a different error, but we'll find out. Okay, so let's go to STL, which I set up in Windows. Hello, Jackie. Oh, sorry, Jakey. Jakey Jen. I don't know why I said it, Jackie. How you doing, dude? Is your weekend going well? I hope so. Yep. Nope. Oh dear. Muted audio. I'm not even going to bother checking if that works. Sure, I'll just call you Jack, no problem, my guy. Actually, don't shut down the audio, which is bad, actually. Oops. Intit audio video. That doesn't make any sense. Right. Let's have a run. Yeah, invalid args. What to do, what to do, what to do. The refactoring. Yeah, it's going good. You're basically writing an engine, I guess, right? Yes, that's right. We are writing the engine, game engine, to make a little space game, which I think you saw earlier, Coding Banana. Why aren't you working? I just don't understand why the values aren't coming through. It's not like I almost want to change compilers to see if it's that. This is so bizarre. Because like I said, the debugger's telling me something, and then the errors are like this is always 0 when it shouldn't be, even though the debugger tells me it's not, right? Let's I don't know what to do. What I'm going to do is throw it all in main, which I didn't want to do at all, but I just want to see if it's the scope, right? Are we going out of scope immediately and then it's like dying? I can't tell. Like maybe this needs to live outside the scope of the project. Let's do that, I guess. because I don't get it. I just wonder if it's the scope. Right, to these. Yeah, okay, so audio is included. I'm going to go in here. Check video memory. That might be one. That might be, yeah, I might do that next actually. Yeah, check video memory. Window memory, yeah, in Visual Studios. And then we can actually investigate what this pointer is pointing to. Yeah. Okay, so it's not that. Yeah, let's do that. Because the debugger is obviously telling us something else than what's actually in memory. I've never seen this before. This is a strange bug. Oh, don't recompile, bro. No, 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 no. Okay. Go in here. Fill your memory. Should I watch this on my laptop since the code isn't very readable on my phone? Here. I guess. I mean, I can make it a little bigger, but I don't have much real estate on my screen myself, so yeah, I can make it a little bigger. Right. Let's get up the. I always forget to do this. This is I did this recently-ish. Because Casey Moratori came out with a video, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. About undefined behavior when you do a mem copy versus a string copy in C. What is it? It's one of these, I think. Oh, where is it? I don't do this very much. Debug windows. Okay, thank you. Debug. Oops. And then. Oh wait, never mind. Yeah, I might have to just Visual Studios memory view. Window. Where are you? Where do you live? No, not that. The C++ one, obviously. Oh, that is one. Okay, so I didn't see that. So enable, yes. I've already done that, I think. Because I did this recently. So debug Windows memory. Oh, it is. Maybe I've disabled it? Or it's updated something? Debug. Oh. Yeah, maybe I need to change. Maybe I need to enable it. Okay, so tools or debug options. Okay, debug options, and then all settings, and then oh, oops, debug general. Okay, let's see. Oh, it only comes up when you're runtime. Let's see. That's chill. Let's give that a shot. And debug. Yeah. There's more here at least. Where is the one? Memory. Memory one. Okay. Okay. So where are we? We are here. So when I go and press F10, okay, stuff changed. Alright, let's move this output out of the way. It's completely not helping. Right. So, what is the memory address of this? No, I want the... There it is. Okay, so we have a 1, 2... Now what we're looking for is a 4,000 something. Like some value. So let's just scroll through this. I don't know how much this is a pre-initialized memory. Okay, I think we've gone past it. What I'm interested in then is, I'm just going back up again. Okay, so what is this? Let's bring out the calculator. Programming X. So in decimal that's 3,000. Okay, so that's not it. What I'm looking for is just the memory. Alright, let's get back to it again just to make sure we're actually on the right thing. Because we have like a random 1, we have 2, we have... Obviously we have lots of like random numbers here. How big is this? Where is this value? Not hex display. Okay, let's go to the if statement because that's the actual problem child. Oops. Let's go back up one. So what I'm going to do actually is, just to make my debugging life easier, I'm going to pull these out and assign them some values so we can actually see them. Channels val. Will this be sample rate? And yep. Oh, okay. What the heck? Oh, it doesn't know what that is. That's fine. Just int will do then. And we have a jump to the debugger and minus da 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 da. No, I need the actual memory address of this value. How do I get the memory address out of a value? Don't know how to do that. Yeah, because it needs the program counter point. Okay, so they're 100% not being copied over. Now, okay, so okay, so that's not as easy. Okay, we can keep debugging this now. We're not as stuck because that made sense from basically what we're seeing. Nope. It's P engine. Now, what's this pointer? Right, config. Okay, so we don't have to look at the memory just yet. Again, Get out the way. 1, 1, right? So okay, so probably put a breakpoint here actually. 0, 0. So the config coming through has got the values of 0, 0. Now the call stack, what's the call stack, right? Because into audio. So apparently according to the call stack, we are here. You know what I'm going to do, just to be absolutely certain, we haven't actually set up the... I didn't think it would matter because... whoa, wrong thing. It's possible that we need to initialize more stuff to be able to do audio. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Nope, that didn't make a difference. And yeah, that just returns to that. It makes sense though, because we're not seeing the values at all, we're just seeing lots of zeros. Now, if I was to set them, so what I'm going to do is take this value equals 2. Like, is it immutable? Is that the issue? Man, this library is not easy to use, obviously. Holy. But I don't know if it's MSVC. I might have to compile this on Linux. Alright, so... What are these values then? Okay, so that does actually work. Does that get copied over? Let's go back to watch. No, it doesn't. You see that? 0. The P engine. What is happening? So if I do this again, am I gonna literally not see the values? I think it's legit. I just don't understand this at all. This is so strange. What does writing the values out to the console show? Yeah, I'll do that shortly. Okay, now it's working? What are these values? 2 and... okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just see if that works for everything and just see if we... I wonder if we get an error. After we've hard-coded the values in. Out of memory. Out of memory? What are you talking about? We ran out of stack memory or something? I don't know. I just... Yeah, let's print out the... out of memory. Where did that go wrong? Out of... okay. Bro, what the heck? Why? Do you see what happened? It went in here again. It shouldn't go in here. way, yeah, it literally shouldn't go in here. We've defined this. I mean, what I'm gonna do then is just define it in C++ in CMake. Why is it doing that again? I don't know. Let's see, where are my defines? Blah blah blah. Have I gone past? No. Set dependencies. That's not what I want. Sorry, I'm taking a bit too long on this. That's it. I just want to find these. Because I don't want to add it twice if I don't have to. So clearly these need to be added in 2 different places. I'm going to add them to every single everything, right? I don't want this to be the case anywhere. Because this is getting ridiculous. External, you're also getting them. Okay, maybe not Jolt. The Jolt does not need these. Okay. So now that should be in the project itself, hard-coded. So there's absolutely no way that we should ever hit that line of code again. It's probably going to give me a warning that I've double defined it. Yeah, redefinition. But I don't actually care. We've got to never see that again, because that does not make any sense. It does suggest that we've got 2 different versions of things that we're accessing. Ah, okay, that was it. Oh no, it wasn't. Okay, so we've got that far. We've got that far with no errors. Sorry, so not quite out the woods yet, but what else do we need to make sure? So we've edited this source file, which I don't like, but at least it's not out of memory anymore. Now, obviously, we want to not have this in because this isn't my code. This is someone else's code, and I don't want to have to be out of date when it comes to merging. What I might do is also macro include the define as well. Okay, now it's working completely fine. What? Why is that happening? Let me think. Okay, so we added that include no or IO whatever. Basically this. As far as I could tell, we added it here and it was supposed to work, but I guess not. We obviously get rid of this now because this is going to break. We're just going to get a warning over and over again. Let's recompile. So obviously there's some kind of macro define. Let me think. So there's some kind of macro define here that's like changing the source code in a way that means that the file that we were looking at was IntelliSense was completely confused. The debugger was completely confused. We were looking at source code that didn't have that macro in. But it looked like it did because we defined it somewhere else. I think something's gone wrong somewhere along this, like the debugger was seeing something else because the macro define was there. But the actual compiled code wasn't, and it was seeing something completely different. And yeah. Alright. Mad. Sorry about that taking so long, honestly. I wish that was a bit faster. But there we go. That was a really confusing bug. So let's restore what we're doing. So yeah, when in doubt, just force CMake. So this all should be back to normal now, so we can actually use these variables. I'll be very surprised if this doesn't work again. Get rid of this. Alright. Yeah, okay, so nothing crazy. Right. I guess now we can try and make a sound effect. I am running out of time, so let me try and be a super giga lazy here and kind of just copy and paste code it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is load file. Because if I'm fast enough, this will be fine, right? I'm not going to check much though. So engine. Then we want to do a. Oops. Nope. Assets. Audio. And Gunstar Heroes Collect. I'm gonna do .wav because I don't know what it expects. WAV is typically the easiest to do. Yes, we're also going to simplify our code again. I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to do this for now. I'm not going to use this array because I just want to see if we can get this working. Nope. Sounds. Oh no, what does it need actually? It needs it. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so then we need to play void play and yeah. Okay. I'm not even going to shut this down. I think what I'm going to do is just get the sound playing. And I usually don't code like this, I promise, but so oh, maybe we need to do this before. Okay. I don't really know when we do this, but hey. Okay. And into subsystem, fine. What? I'm not sure what this means. Cool. Desired spec. What's this? Desired. Where's this come from? Mem0. What is it doing? Doesn't know what this is, I don't think. Yeah, okay, just know what it is. That's simple. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Dyslexic exception. Right, okay. Engine. S engine. If I'm fast enough, this will be fine. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. This is literally how I feel right now. Undefined. Where are you undefined? Did I miss SDL something? Go back to the example. Where's this come from? Okay. Screw it. We're just going to include SDL for now. I don't know what we're missing. Okay, yeah, so it's some SD. No. Okay, now it knows what that is. I'm just assuming that. Okay, data callback. Grab this. This is pretty cringe coding. Alright, so we're just going to assume that's S engine. Okay, I'm just going to compile just to make sure that IntelliSense error is bogus. Okay, so audio spec is not part of. Did I get that wrong? Huh. We also need to initialize the audio device, which is device ID. Where's device ID? I'll do this for a minute because this is easier to fix. Oh, right, okay, so we can't have that there. This is going to be... No, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. So we copy and paste this. We copy and paste it all. Pause audio. Yep. Okay, throw that in there. Oops. It's only cringe if you use AI. You know what? I'm 100% with you on that one. The cringe... I don't really understand it, to be honest. If you're going to make your own game engine, like, what's the point of using AI? I don't really get it. The amount of work that you have to do to make your own game engine. Like, part of the point is to, you know, learn to write stuff yourself. But if you're getting someone else to write it for you, just use a game engine. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, if you literally just want to make a game, just make a game. Too few function calls. What are you talking about? Oh. Ah, right. Okay, so I know what's happening. Yeah, okay. I'm using SDL2. They're using SDL2, so so we need the device, which is this, right? We'll get there. So we need the device first. Okay, and then the spec, right? And this needs to be what? Oh, this is device ID. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have like any qualms against, you know, game designers using AI because they're more of a game designer. Like, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, when it comes to indie devs, I think it's different if you're a studio. Okay, what's this? SDL formats. Okay, what do you need to be? I think I figured out the error now, so this is going to be a bit of a quick mapping from 1 to 1. This is an enum. And we need this to be... In fact, I think what SDL is going to tell us if I actually go back. This has been renamed to SDL this. Yeah, SDL is quite good at that. It's got like this rename thing. Okay, so what does it actually have in here? This struct, we have frequency and channel. Okay. We don't have anything else. Okay. And let's hop back to the tutorial. Does it do anything? I don't want to write that, to be honest. Screw it. We'll write it quick, and if it doesn't work, okay, so this is the loop. So this is the only thing that needs to be in play. Okay, so this needs to be pulled out. And what we're going to do is also start our music again. Actually, I want to listen to our song again. That's sick. It felt it's like the vibe. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna throw these in here just briefly, and And then this is going to go into play. And it's just a that's just a double. That's just a while loop. True. Sound. I don't know if there's like a play sound non-set position, but we're just going to kind of roll with it. Right. Okay. So main. Scroll down. Let's just see if we get it. I really hope so. So I'm going to put it below all the drawing. Or the recording at least. Okay, so after presentation, we go audio, play, right? I'm not even cleaning up, so. How many years I've been programming for? On and off in 2011 to like 2017. And then I really took it seriously after that point when I went to university. Oh, wrong, yes. Sound. What is the... Oh, that would make sense. Let's get rid of that. Sounds. Yeah, so quite a long time to be honest. Undefined. MA. What are you talking about? Why are you undefined? Oh, right, that's why. Well, part of the reason why it's not working. Where's the include? Oh, we need STL over there, sorry. Yeah, this is super heavyweight. Okay. What about now? What's the error? Next. MS is not defined. So it can't find these functions for some reason. These are just okay. So screw it. Standard. What is it? Sign. It's got to include maths. We're not going to sleep. Maths. I don't know. Ugh, I always get it wrong. I'm a British guy, so I always write maths wrong. What do you want? Standard. Alright, this is defined now, right? Oh, for goodness sake. Where's that defined then? Damn, you started so early I missed the whole shebang. I apologise, yes, it's CMAS. Where is it? Oh, it's in CMAS. It is in CMAS. Maths and CMAS aren't the same. Okay, that's not even a thing. Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, we've been coding for a while, man. Alright, standard cosine. And then standard sine. And then standard cosine. Yep. We can't just put a random sleep in here because this is going to be in the for loop. It's going to make everything break. So unfortunately, I have no idea what this is going to sound like. Please be aware I have no control of the volume either because I've just coded this in like 2 seconds. So be prepared for a bit of a loud sound effect if it even plays. Oh, it's not defined. Okay, this is not defined. Why aren't you defined? Let me guess, you're inside a macro thing that's if def. What does this even mean? MA. Oh, it just wants to zero the whole project. Okay, this is just a C issue. I don't have to worry about this. I can just do that. Done. Alright, cool. So I've no idea what this. I hope this audio isn't too loud. Okay, I can't hear it at all. Maybe just play sound, maybe? Does that exist? Just play sound? There really isn't a play audio. Where is it? Set position. No, it's just not wanting to work. Oh, wait, these angles could be completely... Okay, let's just set it 0, 0, 0, right? I've no idea what these values really are because I haven't really tested it in my coordinate system. So we could be at like a completely different place in space and time. Nope. Okay. Never mind. GG's. Anyway, I have to go now. Have a nice rest of the day, guys. Yeah, appreciate that. The best time to play... Yeah, 100%. That's a great quote, that. Okay, so I'm going to share my Discord server. For anyone who might be interested in joining. I don't think I've got it linked below, so I'll just do that now. You know, for anyone who is watching, you get to join in with our community. You just have to be chill. That's the only rules. Anyway, I'm going to call it here. We have got a lot done, but we haven't quite got audio finished. I'll have to figure out exactly what's going wrong here and translate SDL. Figure out, you know, if is this working, etc. Oh wait, can I just... Sorry, let me just check if I... Okay, I did open audio device. Okay, yeah, something's wrong, and I'll fix it at a different point. So yeah, I appreciate everyone watching, and I shall see you all soon. Have a good rest of the weekend, guys.